Hey guys, today I am going to up pot my peppers because some of them are getting quite large and there's two in some of these pots. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna need to up pot these. But what I'm doing is just splitting them and then putting the other plant in like the same size container, but just its own container. So I'm just gonna go through these and separate them. They are pretty wet, so it makes it really nice to separate them. So I'll show you guys some close-ups from that, but I already did pre-moisten my soil, and I am potting them in just a variety of containers because I need all of my other containers like this to do my tomatoes. So we're just gonna do some of the really big pepper plants, maybe in like these containers. So let's jump into it. I had pretty good germination with everything, except for some varieties, which I did make note of, but it just, I guess, comes with some of the stuff too. But I'm just gonna go through these and separate them and get them repotted. I should just thought about it. I should make more tags. Mint tags this time. The weather is super gorgeous today, so we have been outside as much as possibly. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through this real quick and then I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, so now I am going to separate them and pot them each individually in their own container. All right, so here we go. Hoping these pull out pretty quick, pretty easily. Yes, sweet. All right, so you just want to like gently try to manipulate this root ball to where they kind of separate themselves from each other. You can tear them apart. I try to get a lot of the soil off so I can just kind of easily separate them without tearing their roots apart, but sometimes it doesn't work like that either. So there we go. All right, so this is the gorbachi pepper. Alrighty, so I did fill these with some soil for the bottoms, but I'm just going to kind of top dress them. This is still like seed starting soil. I'm not using regular potting soil. I don't have any right now, and I was like, well, I still have a huge bag full of seed starting soil, so I don't really want to go buy extra soil if I don't need to. And voila. So there we go. Now it is in its own container and it can, have a little bit more room for its root system. So now I'm going to take this other one here and kind of put the soil around the walls of the pot. Gently put it down in there and fill it in. You don't want to like pack it hard, but you do want to make sure you're getting enough soil in there to where when you water it, it'll settle in nicely around those roots. I was gonna just let them go, but there's still like 4 weeks before I can actually plant these out. So I was like, I just don't think they're gonna have enough room. And if I wanna give some away, that always allows for me to do that. So that's always fun. Okay, so this one I only got one plant out of, which is kind of a bummer. I'm not sure why, but it's called chachucha? I don't even know. But I only got one pepper plant from that variety. I'm not sure what happened, but it is what it is. Watch, I'm gonna repot these and then it's gonna pop up. All right, so here, I'm just gonna gently pull these out of here like that. And these are a little bit smaller, so they are, yeah, gonna come apart a little bit easier. Like that. Okay, so now, same thing, I'm just using these pots that I was getting ready, setting it right in the middle, and letting it settle down in there. There. Some close-up of the roots here. They've been rooting in really nicely. I actually think I'm going to label all of the pepper plants because I have a feeling I'm going to mess something up. So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick, do that, and then I'll jump back in there. The cutest thing, my daughter has a little lawnmower that blows bubbles, and our labs love to chase them, and she just giggles like crazy. It's the cutest thing. Was tun sie? Sind sie in der Bubbles-Gitter? Okay. So I got one tray done. I do have another tray that I'm gonna separate. It's the same thing, just go through and separate them so that each plant has its own pot, but that is basically it. Since I didn't use potting soil, I will continue to feed them using fertilizer. When I fertilize the rest of my stuff. But now what I'm gonna do is just water everything in. So I'll show you guys, I'm just gonna like spray this tray. Overhead, I do bottom water everything once it's inside on the shelf again, but I need to make sure those roots are settled in. You wanna make sure to do that because if you had any pockets or anything like that, the soil will settle down into that. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Alrighty, that's it. That is repotting peppers. So now I'm gonna take them inside and put them back in their happy home and do the second tray. Alrighty, that's it. That is repotting peppers. It's basically the same thing for everything else. It just makes so that the plant itself has more root space to grow into that pot. Like these eggplants have done phenomenal since I up potted them, separated them out. And then there's stuff like this that I'll show you guys how I do that later. But Next is the other tray of peppers. And then I gotta do my tomatoes because they're getting massive. And then I'm gonna do some of the smaller stuff that isn't quite as like fighting for space. But that's basically it. You wanna make sure to do that. Make sure you give your plants space. I really like these size containers because I'm not having to like use a lot more space to up pot everything. So that makes it really nice. I'm gonna see how the tomatoes do in that and the peppers. This is kind of a trial year, so I'm hoping that they'll do good and really like their space. So alrighty, that's it. That is up potting peppers. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.